Hello, my good people. How are you doing? Hope you're well. I'm well myself. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jimmy Naftali. I am a pediatrician by profession. In this channel is all about kids' welfare. This is whereby I create the awareness on common illnesses affecting children while growing up. I do this in a language that every person is able to understand, so I try to avoid medical terms here so that I can involve everybody into the management of these babies. So in the end, I want us to have healthy babies, and also we want to improve their qualities of life. So welcome to yet another new video. If you're new, join the family, because this is a family. Join the family by hitting that subscribe button. Subscribe to be part of us. Also, if you're that returning subscriber, thank you so much. You are a favorite person and you don't even know it yet. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch my content. I really appreciate. So thank you so much. So in today's video, this is one of the most asked videos. I can say that this is one of the most asked videos. I've not seen this another video asked for like this one previously. So many people have come to my DMs, they have come to my emails asking me to do this topic. And the topic of today is autism or autistic spectrum disorder. Autism is very common in children. So let's go start our topic of today. So by definition, what is autism, if I may say? This is usually one of the pervasive developmental disorder. And this disorder is usually characterized by patterns of delay and deviance in social communication development. So we are saying it is one of the pervasive developmental disorder. It's a developmental disorder, yes, and it has got patterns of delay, deviance, or in social communicative development, yes. So what we are saying is, when it comes to communication, these children usually delay when it comes to into communication, and if there's no delay, they go on and communicate, but later there's that deviance in social communicative development. So this is the definition of what autism is, and it is in the first year of life. This is when you realize all this. This is in the first year of life. Now, so what is the history? When you say history of autism, normally we have difficulties in change. These children are very difficult when it comes to change. You tell them to stop doing this and do certain things, they will not change whatever they were doing. Their behaviors are like they do that thing. They are persistent in their behavior, so they have got difficulties in change. They also have atypical language. There's a language that they always use. Then there's social isolation. So social isolation, you find that they want to be alone at most times. They don't want to be with, if for example this child goes out to play with other kids, they want to be alone. They are isolating themselves. This is a characteristic of autism. Then they have got intellectual disability. So intellectually they are not okay, so there is also disturbance when it comes to the intellectual intelligence. This is the intelligent is also disturbed. So this is some of the things that we say when you take in the history of this child, you're going to find this. Now, what is the epidemiology, or basically what is the this like distribution, how we see this autism, how is it the distribution of this autism? So there's usually an increasing trend rate over time. So these cases of autism are increasing. Their rate is increasing over time, and they have got high rates being reported. Yes, so you can imagine it's something that should draw attention, because so many children are being diagnosed with autism. Male to female ratio is 4:1, meaning male are more affected by the oftenly get autism more than girls. Male into female ratio is usually 4:1, and this varies also with the IQ levels. When you say we talk of IQ, it's all about the intelligence again. So normally autism according to researchers, is usually associated with congenital rubella. Congenital meaning this is a child that was born with this condition we are calling rubella. You find that most autistic children were born with this congenital. They had this congenital rubella. A third to about 10% of children with autism of cases are usually associated with other medical conditions. What we are saying is that children with autism, biggest percentage, you're going to find that they don't only have this autism, they have got other medical conditions. For example, Fragile X, this is just a disease that they may have. So usually a third to 10% have got other medical conditions. Yes, and then it is a strong genetic condition. It's genetically acquired. Yes, autism is a strong genetic condition. So note that recurrence of autism in siblings ranges between 2% to 10%. What does this mean? If a child has been brought to you with autism, then you try to take the history of this child and the mother tells you that there is another sibling, either a brother or a sister with the same issue, with these autism characteristics, or even a cousin. So what we are saying that is it is recurrent, it can run in the family. That is what we are trying to say. They have got high presentation of social and language problems. They are not able to talk so fluently. They have rigid patterns of behaviors, and this is again difficulties in change. So if they go into a certain direction, behaviors, so this is them, and you try to change them and they have got difficulties in changing. Yeah, so placental abnormalities in pregnancy of these children with autism. So when their pregnancy, they had placental abnormalities. When this mother was carrying this baby that eventually gets autism, during pregnancy, you find that most cases they had placental abnormalities. So these are some of the researches that are linked to this autistic child or autism in children. So what are the clinical presentation? So they have got disturbances in each of the following, disturbances in three major regions. So number one, they have disturbances in social relatedness. Again, socializing with other kids out there is usually a problem. So they have social relatedness disturbances. They have got disturbances when it comes to communication and play. We are saying they have got delayed communication and also the deviance. Also, they have got disturbances when it comes, they have restricted interests and also activities, very difficult to change, difficulties in changes. So they are restricted to some interests and behaviors and not any other person. They just target that certain thing. Yeah. So these are some of the clinical presentation. So let's go one by one. We are saying it's made up of the three disturbances in social life, in communication, and also restriction in interest and activities. So social disturbance, what are we saying? We are saying that there's impairment in the non-verbal behavior. So they're not able to express themselves. So this child really wants something, but they cannot really be able to express themselves in terms of non-verbal communication. So this is what we are saying. They also have the social interaction is poor. They have failure to develop peer relationships with other children. Like if you tell this child or you send them out to play with other children, they are not social with other kids. This child is a child that will go sit somewhere alone. They are very, very lonely. Yes, that is the word, very, very lonely, and they want to isolate themselves. They don't want to mix up with other kids. Also, the onset is usually the age of 3 years. So at 3 years of age, your boy or your girl has got some of these characteristics we are talking about. It's good to visit a doctor so that they can really give you the early diagnosis of the autism. Now, they also have lack of seeking to share enjoyments or interests. Like nothing excites them. Imagine, very, very funny, nothing really excites them. So like they have gotten some play or something, they are not able to go and share the enjoyment or interest with their peers. Yeah, so they have got nothing that really excites them. So there's lack of social or emotional reciprocity. So they're not able to reciprocate anything, either emotionally or any social thing, not able to reciprocate. How about impairment? That was impairment in social life. How about impairment in communication? So here they have got delay or total lack of spoken language without any attempt to compensate through other means. So what we are saying is that when it comes to speaking, this child communicating, you find that they have got delays. So at 1 year, at 2 years, the child is not even able to utter some words. 3 years again, child is not able to. Others are able to start, but they lack. Others, even they are not delayed, they completely lack total lack of spoken language. They're not able to talk at all. At 3 years, the child is just using signs. They're not able to speak by themselves. Other things is that they have marked difficulties to sustain or initiate a conversation. So now they got delayed when it comes to communication, but again, sustaining this, they are not able to initiate a conversation. They want to start telling you something. It takes them time, like they stammer. The words coming out of their mouth is really, really difficult. Or if they are able to initiate that conversation, they are not able to sustain it. So they talk one word by one word, then it reaches a point whereby they cannot sustain that conversation anymore. They just like words are not able to come out of their mouths. I believe now you can be able to imagine what I'm talking about. So they have stereotypes and repetitive languages. So they'll keep talking about one thing over time and again. So repetitive, they repeat themselves. The repetitive language, one thing every time. So they also lack social play. Again, they do not go outside and socialize with other children. Now about restriction, repetitive stereotyped behavior. There's persistent preoccupation with parts of the object. Yeah, they are really occupied with certain object. Maybe it's a toy. You find that the mind of this child is really there, all of it. They really concentrate on one thing. Persistent preoccupation with parts of the object. So they're just going to concentrate on that one part or that one thing like an object. Yeah, also they are going to have marked resistance to change. We said they just have a stereotyped activities and behavior, so they just want to remain with that behavior, and it's very, very difficult for these children to change. So those are the three parts. We are saying there is disturbance in three major places when it comes to autism. We are saying the social life, there's disturbance in communication, and also restriction and repetitive stereotyped behaviors. They have got certain behaviors of their own. It's rare to find it with other children. So other features, they get seizures in adolescence. Seizures are the convulsions. Remember the tremors. In adolescence, they might get this. Also, they may have mental retardation. So they're not able, when it comes to school thing, they're not able to get anything in school. They have mental retardation. They have hyperactivity disorder. So we have hyperactivity disorder, and this is one of its own topic that we are going to talk about, because I've seen so many children who are very much hyperactive. They're very, very hyper, very active. They cannot stay in one place. They just want to jump from one place to the other, climb somewhere. They are all over the place. So these are the hyperactivity disorder. So these children with autism, they get the hyperactive disorder, maybe a feature. They also have self-stimulatory behaviors like abuse. Yeah. So what about the good prognosis factors? When are you able to say that these children are going on well, they are really improving? So these are the good prognostic factors. We say they have good prognosis if the communication skills is attained by the age of 5 years. Yeah, if this child is able, we had difficulties initiating the conversation and all that, but at 5 years they are able to have the communication skills. This is a good prognosis. If the cognitive ability or IQ outcome is good. So in school they are really able to get they are able to get when it comes to like learning and all that, they're able to get. So their knowledge is key. So this is the IQ we are talking about. So we are going to say that they have got good prognostic, they have good prognosis if 1% to 2% are able to attain personal independence. That is, they do not rely on anybody, because these children, autistic children, are very, very dependent. So you're going to see that they depend on their mothers most of the times. If it is in school, they depend on the teachers. They cannot do things on their own. So what we are saying is that this is a good outcome or a good prognosis if this child has got 1 to 2% are able to attain personal independence, like dressing up. So they do not need anybody at home or the mother or any caretaker to dress them, so they can start dressing themselves. So this is a good prognosis. Now again, we normally say that 2/3 may need intensive care. 2/3 may need intensive care. So a lot of care, you have to be there. Whoever is taking care of this child has to be present at all times. That's why we are saying doing things for themselves and attaining that personal independence is usually, it's key. It shows good prognosis. Yeah, so this is it about this autism. So this, I'm going to end it here so that people can really get what we are talking about. I've gotten so many calls, so many texts asking me, is my child autistic, because they have got 1, 2, 3. Others, they're just telling me that my child has not yet spoken a word. They are now 3 years. So you need to take this child to hospital again, so that get medical diagnosis. Don't do it on your own at home. Just take the child to hospital. You're able to get to know more things and you're advised even better. So I found it good to do this, and I'm saying this is one of the most asked video in my videos. So I believe now you're better, you know better. Share these videos widely to reach as many people as possible. Maybe a mom, they are struggling, the child is not talking and they don't even know, they don't realize that this is a problem. A child just calls themselves, they're very lonely, they don't go out to play, the child is not able to utter words, they are now 3 years and above. So maybe they are not even sure, they are not even aware that this is a problem. So share these videos so that they can help as many people as possible. Thank you so much for those who asked. I believe now you're better, you're able to get better. And comment in the comment section or even in my email. The email is provided in the end of every video. So for any questions, ask anything, any clarifications, will be good to go, and I'm going to answer you all those questions. So if you haven't subscribed again, subscribe to be part of us. We are road to 5K subscribers, and I know this is very, very possible. So subscribe. Also turn on your notifications to know every time I'm posting a new video here. So thank you so much. Until next time, bye bye.